What's going on, guys? So I got a cool early review for you guys, and it's for Thor. So this movie, let's get right into it. Starts out with Natalie Portman and her team. They're in a desert. Whoosh, things are happening, and they're waiting for this storm to happen, and it happens, and this man falls onto the ground, and their truck hits them, and they see him. They're like, "What happened?" And then, whoosh, flashback. Movie takes a step back and it goes back in time to show you Thor when he was a little youngin', like when he's with the little daddy Odin. He's like, "Daddy Odin, I want to be like you and go into war and be awesome." He's like, "Son, war is not important, but it is necessary to be able to fight in war." And from there, the film just continues in a natural pace to tell you the story of Thor. This was a great origin tale of Thor. They were able to perfectly tell the parts that when he was on Earth and when he's in Asgard, and have it make sense, and have his whole little team that he had, have them come in, have those characters fleshed out a little bit, see them in action, and not just be like, oh, there's that one scene where they showed up, in some cameo and he had some sweet actor to play them. No, they're fully established characters in the movie, but that's not really shown from the trailer, but they're fully established characters, all his team. They got the guy who played Punisher in the Punisher Warzone movie. He comes up, he was pretty funny, and they had a couple other people. He's the only actor who I really could recognize and remember. And so that's his team, and they go off to fight in the beginning, and these ice guys who I can't recall what their name, but they find out that there's been treason and all this stuff, and this sounds all crazy, right? And they're like, there's no way this all makes sense. But I'm telling you, they hit on all the important points that were necessary for this movie to work, and from the trailer, it looks like this movie could turn out to be a mess, but it doesn't. Everything falls into place, and it works perfectly. And, call me crazy, but this movie, at times, I was like, this is, kind of a complex movie. Like, it's no Inception or anything like that, but you definitely need to pay attention for this movie for it to make sense to you, because there are moments where they're like, all right, man, you're on Earth, you're in Asgard, and you think, like, that's not gonna work, and it really does. Like, it all goes in. And one thing that really made me happy about this movie is, like, how there are movies where scenes just drag and they just go on and on and on, and you're just like, oh, fuck, move on. And that only happened once to me, but let me just say, once before I got that feeling, I was like, all right, move on. As soon as I started getting that feeling, I was like, this scene should really move. Look at you guys do it. That's exactly what needed to happen. Like, they did, the pacing for this was beautiful. They slowed down when necessary, they sped up when it was right, and it just was beautiful. And now let's get into some of the important stuff that people are really looking forward to. The action. The action is totally awesome. It is awesome. They really make Thor's hammer look like the beast that it is. And it's not just like, he does awesome things with that. He twirls it and makes cyclones. He throws it like a boomerang, and it goes and hits 10 million people in the face, and then grabs it again. It's like, this is my hammer. Like, it's totally cool. And the action scenes were so well directed, and all of his team has really cool powers. They're like, whoosh, and all this awesome stuff is happening. I know I sound like I'm five, and then the guy went like that and like that, but really, like, it was tons of fun, this movie. It was totally cool, the action. And now, before I get into the 3D, which a lot of people are going to be curious about, I want to just say that Chris Hemsworth, the guy who played the dad in the beginning of Star Trek, he's great as Thor. We are so lucky to have gotten him as Thor, because he is super awesome. And I want to just say the guy playing his dad in this movie, Odin, played by Anthony Hopkins, he was great. I couldn't even recognize him at certain points. I forgot it was Anthony Hopkins. I know that's weird. You're like, that old guy, he looks the same. Well, I forgot it was him. I thought, I was like, that kind of looks like someone I recognize. But he wasn't like the crazy old man everyone thinks he's become anymore. He gave a really solid performance in this movie, and at points really pulled it through. And also, I want to say, this movie did a great job showing off the extra characters. Like, how in Wolverine they had Gambit, they had that fat guy, and they had all those characters that just mashing him in the movie. And in this one, it's just like, Jeremy Renner comes in as Hawkeye at some point. I won't say when, but it was beautifully done. It was done. He wasn't there for too long, and he wasn't there for too short. He was there, you saw him, and it was perfect. Now, on to the 3D. Now, the 3D for this movie, there's none of that, like, whoa, like, coming at you kind of stuff, but it just kind of gave the depth, you know, to the movie. Like, kind of just showed you, know, like, oh, look, that's that far away, and this is that close, you know, and it kind of made it a little cool. There were points I took off my glasses just to see, and, yeah, they actually went, and, you know, it's kind of, like, just gave depth to things, and it, at certain points, things kind of looked a little flat, but the 3D took away nothing from the movie, and it added nothing. It was just like, blah, there. So, you know, if you want to see 3D, if you really want to see it and make it look a little bit prettier, go ahead and pay the extra money. But really, I mean, wasn't really worth it seeing 3D. But onto my rating, this was really damn good. Go check out this movie. You won't be disappointed. This was a ton of fun. It was good, and it made me use my brain. I like when I use my brain, because it makes me feel like I'm smarterer. So, check out more of my reviews over theirs, maybe, or over theirs, and write things down there. Please subscribe, and I'll get more reviews coming at you guys. By the way, I want to say, I almost forgot, I'll have my own little stinger. The stinger at the end of Thor is actually a good stinger. Who would have thought, right? They actually made it interesting, so yes, it is worth the stay at the end of the credits. You're not going to get something lame like a hammer and a rock. So, again, subscribe, you mofos, and stay after the credits of Thor, because it's cool.